friends, and welcome back. It's Cheyenne and I am indeed back with yet another baking video. Today we are making Korean lunchbox cakes, which have just been all over my social media recently. I've seen them on TikTok, on Pinterest, just everywhere. And granted, I am a little bit late to the trend, but for Valentine's Day it seemed like the perfect time to give it a try. I am going to be using Claire Saffitz's confetti cake recipe and then a whipped cream cheese frosting. And I'm just gonna be completely honest with you guys. This is not my first attempt at trying to make these cakes. This wasn't even supposed to be a dessert person related video. Last night I attempted making these cakes with a different cake recipe. It was a vanilla genoise, kind of like a sponge cake, and it didn't turn out right. I have the recipe because these are supposed to be mini cakes, so I was like, I don't need that much batter. Wrong. And then I ended up like overcooking it a little bit, so it was kind of hard, and then it tasted too eggy and it was just a whole mess. So we're trying again today with a tried and true recipe, which is Claire's confetti cake. And I did make this previously for Daniel and I's anniversary, and it was so good. Especially with the brown butter cream cheese frosting, which I won't be doing today just because I already made the whipped cream cheese frosting, and quite frankly I think it'll be a little bit easier to decorate with that anyway, so that's what we're going with. Yeah. So now we can get started with Claire's confetti cake, and just so you guys know, I am only doing a third of the recipe. Don't worry, I've done this before, so I know it works, there's no problem there, but her full recipe is just too much. There's only 2 of us here and we don't need that much cake. So I'm cutting it down to a third of the recipe, and I'll keep all the specific ingredients and measurements and everything down below. I'll give you an overview, of course, but it does get kind of complicated when you try to cut it down, especially if you're using volume. I weigh everything, but yeah. I'll just keep everything down below, and I'll link Claire's video as well because she did recently do a video on this recipe on her YouTube channel. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and look at the ingredients for the confetti cake. Okay, so here's what her beautiful cake looks like in the book. But for the ingredients, we've got some cake flour, some granulated sugar, baking soda, baking powder, and salt, some unsalted butter, buttermilk, neutral oil, I used vegetable oil, some eggs and egg whites, vanilla, and also some almond extract, which is optional, and then of course some sprinkles. Alright, so in this large mixing bowl we are going to go ahead and combine our flour, sugar, and then the baking soda, baking powder, and salt. I'm just going to whisk these together. Next we are going to go ahead and add in our butter, buttermilk, and oil. We're going to mix this until it is just combined. I'm actually going to go ahead and keep mixing this for about another minute or so until it's really smooth and fully combined. Alright, that is looking really good. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my almond and vanilla extract to my eggs. And then just mix them together really well. Now we're going to go ahead and add this in 2 parts. So there's 1. And then mix after each addition. Finally, we are just going to fold in our sprinkles. And she does specify, you know, be careful not to overdo this, otherwise the sprinkles will start to bleed out into the batter. Alright, that looks perfect. Okay, I've prepared 2 cake pans here. They're just 2 6-inch rounds, and I am going to attempt to split this batter evenly. Alright, that looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Finally, I am just going to stick these in the oven. It's preheated to 350, and we're going to bake these for about 35 to 40 minutes. And I'm just going to keep an eye on them and pull them out when they're ready. Okay, the cakes have cooled. They are looking pretty good. So now I'm going to remove them from the pan. Came out easily. Let's see. Beautiful. So they have like a nice brown crust around the edge, as you can see, and they look and smell delicious. So let me remove the parchment from the bottom. And now I'm gonna go ahead and level them off. Oh my god, these smell so good. I cannot express how amazing this recipe is. So I'm just taking a serrated knife and going all the way across. And there's a nice little dome, so it's easy to see where you need to cut. You can just use these for like cake pops or something, or just eat it as is, totally up to you. I'll do this one next. And just look how beautiful that is. That's perfect. So now I am going to take this little template that I made. It's a little heart because I want my cakes to be in the shape of a heart. So I'm going to try and cut them out and we'll see how this goes. I was originally going to cut out the shape and then cut the cake layers in half, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just cut them in half now. Try and find about the midline. Looks pretty good to me. And just try to keep my hand steady. Alright. It's looking pretty good. So there's one down. You just gotta be gentle because while they hold up well, they are still crumbly and can be a little bit fragile if you're not careful with them. Alright, perfect. So now I am going to attempt to cut out some hearts. Obviously you could just frost these as is, but I'm a little extra and I want to do it like this, so let's hope I don't mess this up. And I am cutting a little bit wider than the stencil just so I have a little bit of leeway. Alright, let's see. Uh-oh, okay. Here's one heart. Oh my god, look how cute that is! Oh my god! Okay, did the other one come out though? Okay, so the bottom is still a little bit attached, so I'm just gonna run the knife through. Try to release it. There we go. Oh my goodness, I love this. This is so cute. Look at that. Oh my god. Okay, so there's one heart. And let's do the other one. This top layer is especially delicate, so I'm trying to handle it as little as possible. Alright, let's see. Nice, nice. Looking good. Alright. Amazing! Wow, look at that. Okay, wow. These came out really nicely, so let's see. I am going to attempt to crumb coat these, so let's see how this goes. This frosting is very interesting. It's kind of goopy, so that's fun. Almost looks like marshmallow fluff. This is so weird. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Honestly, some of the reviews of this frosting were like, it's a little too liquidy. So I tried my best to firm it up a little bit, but it still seems kind of runny, which I'm not really crazy about, but this is what we got, so I'm gonna have to keep pushing. I hope that turns out okay. This is very moist would be a nice way to put it. I'm just gonna, oh yeah, no, that frosting is running everywhere. Okay. Oh yeah, no, this is just super, super liquidy. I don't think this is going to be, I don't think this is going to hold up properly. Alright, this isn't working, so I'm going to clean this off as best I can, because I would love to salvage this cake. And we're just going to see what we can do. So it seems that 2 internet recipes have failed me, and so now we are going to just make a regular buttercream, and yeah, and hope that this cake is salvageable. Well, it'll be moist if nothing else, I suppose. Alright friends, I am not giving up yet, so here is the new game plan. I am going to take some butter out of the fridge and let that soften, and I'm just going to make a regular standard buttercream. I wish I had more cream cheese, because then I would make Claire's cream cheese recipe, which is so good. But I don't. I used all my cream cheese on that frosting that just failed. So we are going to let that soften and make a new buttercream. Honestly, I feel like I'm starting to understand what Claire would go through when she did episodes of Gourmet Makes, and now I feel bad that I enjoyed those episodes so much, so that's okay. We are going to try our best, and we're gonna salvage this, and we're gonna make a beautiful cake, okay? So let's do this. All right, so for the buttercream, we're doing an almond buttercream. The recipe comes from Allie Meadows. She is a creator on TikTok, and we're gonna start with 2 sticks of unsalted butter softened. And then I'm gonna beat this until it's light and fluffy. Next, I'm going to add 1 pound of powdered sugar and add that in about 3 to 4 increments. Okay, I'm gonna take about a teaspoon of almond extract and add that in as well. And I'm also gonna add about half a tablespoon of milk, maybe more depending on how much I need. I'm gonna go ahead and add in another half tablespoon, so 1 tablespoon in total of milk. Alright, and there's the finished product, and it looks much better than the previous frosting that I had, so this should be good to go. Alright, let's try this again. So, start with these guys. I can separate it. There we go. And as you can see, that's spreading so much better already. Alright, these guys have just been hanging out in the freezer, so now I am going to go ahead and try to decorate them. Clearly I am an amateur when it comes to cake decorating, so we're gonna try our best and see how it goes. Got some orange frosting here because that's Daniel's favorite color, and then some green, and let's see what we can do. Is it too big? You like?
The sprinkles are actually really good.
Really?
Usually I don't care about sprinkles, but they're really good.
You mean like on the outside specifically?
Yeah. Or maybe, I guess there are sprinkles on the inside too. I think about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the ones on the outside. Yeah, this came out really good.
How do you feel about the frosting?
Good.
I put almond extract in it.
It really tastes kind of like normal, honestly. But I'm not necessarily a icing connoisseur by any means.
That's fair. I'm glad you liked it. Happy Valentine's Day.
I appreciate that.
Alright, that is going to conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I am so happy with the way these came out, despite all the struggles and the mishaps that tried to stop me. They came out really well. They're super cute and they taste so good. So I hope you give it a try and let me know if you do, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!